There's nobody more valuable as an asset in sales than this guy right here. He's known as the SMMA sales Rizzler.
There's no way in hell anyone can pitch like me, and there's no way in hell anyone can pitch like you. You gotta find what works for yourself. Some guy goes, how do I cold call? I was like, don't even write a script. Just pick up the phone and see what you actually say.
If you had to get back to 10K a month and you started over again, how would you do it this time?
Dial the fucking phone. Ring people up. It's a volume game, because if you're not doing it, someone else is. If I had the same skill set I have right now, I'd book 10 meetings right after this call. Anyone that says like, oh, you need to do this in your sales call, you need to do that in your sales, shut the fuck up. Like, it's all about being relatable.
Guys, today I have Tariq with me, and this is a guy who, he got into business, he's grown, he's gone from copywriting to agencies to all kinds of businesses, helped hundreds of agency owners scale up and make 10, 20, 30K a month. There's nobody more valuable as an asset in sales than this guy right here. He's known as the SMMA sales Rizzler, right? So with that being said, Tariq, introduce yourself. Love what you're doing.
Bro, that's the second time you've said that. I do not know why that's sticking. The sales Rizzler, I hate that. That was not even my idea, but we'll stick with it because I guess I got to ride a wave and no one else is being called that. I see a lot of people making fake videos or like copy videos of that heading, so I guess I got to do it. But yeah, what hasn't been said already, but like Andres said, I've been coaching. Now, I do keep that low key, like I said. That isn't something I'd like to promote. However, if you go follow my YouTube videos and then go to my Discord, you'll see that the conversation I'm having with Andres right here, I have these daily. I was sitting in my Discord call like I do every single day while I'm working, by the way. I'm not just being my meat, fucking like talking to nobody. I'm in these calls, and when people join, they go, yo, I just watched your video, Tarek. And I was like, what's up? I'm right here, bro. Let's talk. And that's how I go every single day. So I'm always about, coaching people, but it isn't really coaching for me. I don't like that word either. I just like spreading knowledge, and my YouTube videos, I think, display that a lot, that I'm actually making the videos for y'all rather than for me. I want to keep doing that. That's why I haven't uploaded in a while now. I know you said you're cutting it, so I'll just say things in now and in and out. But to be honest, what needs to be said? I can't regurgitate so much shit. But again, this is my first call with another guy who's on YouTube. Now, I did speak to Hunter, but that was in private. And yeah, man, I mean, how much? What else do you want me to say?
Yeah. So Tariq, I want to ask a question. So obviously, you used to be in sales. You've kind of developed I would say pretty unique way of doing sales. Part of it's charisma, part of it's knowing how to speak and communicating effectively. How would you show that to somebody else? How would you teach that same process to somebody else now getting into sales?
Every single time someone asks, how do I do this? How do I do that? There's no way in hell anyone can pitch like me, and there's no way in hell anyone can pitch like you, okay? You got to find what works for yourself. So I just hired 2 closers, and this is a great example. These 2 guys I was trying to teach to sell like the way I sold. Shit was not working. Their close rates were so low, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I must be doing something wrong, because these guys aren't closing the way I'm closing. My percentage over 50%. Every second person I speak to is closing, and these guys are botching every single call, and I'm thinking, what is going wrong? So I had to go all the way back to basics like I did when I started in sales, and I was dog shit when I started, just like pretty much everybody else. But I went back to the basics, scripted out everything, and I wrote down different pitch decks for different guys, because I have 2. So I was like, one needs to do it like this, the other one needs to do it like that. And then I realized, okay, these guys need to learn foundational skills rather than just emulate what I'm doing and then try to replicate it. They need to actually start on their own. And that's why they're now successful, or not successful, but their close rates have increased. So teaching someone or coaching someone and showing them how I do it isn't the best course of action. It's, look, you need to understand that you need to go through shit for months on end before you actually find your rhythm, find your stroke, just like anything else. Like even if it's a sport, you're not going to jump on a basketball court and do a windmill dunk. You're gonna have to learn how to do a layup, learn the foundations, learn the fundamentals, and then you can kind of adapt and implement your behavior, how you act, your inflections, how you speak to these people, and then we can kind of develop that skill. But before we do that, let's just start with the foundational skills, because you can't just copy me, which I thought was the best course of action. And I learned straight away that I can't teach somebody to sell like me. I need to teach them how to sell like themselves.
Yeah. And I love that, because also you mentioned Hunter Soroy earlier, and I love because he's about like the introvert selling. And I think that's awesome, because some people are like you're charismatic, outgoing on sales calls, and that's how you do it. Hunter is very like quiet and soft spoken, but he still sells very great. And so I think like different people, they tried to take somebody else's script and just copy it and use it, and it's like it doesn't work because you're not that person. But so how would you go about finding what's the best way to do it for somebody else, for the average viewer? Or do you think it's just do it over and over until you find that?
Man, I think you just nail it on the coffin right there. Like you could copy someone, you could pay someone for a course, you could do this, that, and this, but you just need to understand you need to be disciplined and sit as many fucking sales calls as possible, even if it means having a 0% close rate. Okay, volume trumps everything. You might need some guidance from someone who knows what they're talking about, which is easily attainable by watching a fucking YouTube video. But all you need to do is understand, if I do more outreach, if I book more meetings, I'll be in a position to close more people. And the more times I fail, the more things I'll pick up on every single time I sit that pitch. And then I'll naturally develop my skill, my intuition, your natural ability, how you feel comfortable selling. You said Hunter Saroy. A lot of people can actually model their pitch off someone who's more introverted rather than someone like Andy Elliott or even Jeremy Minor or Alex Hermosi, who are either very logical or extremely emotional and very confident in what they do. So good ways to model your pitch off of is find somebody in your niche, write a script, whatever it might be. It could be dog shit. It doesn't really matter what you say because it's all about how you say it. I could say go fuck yourself and it could mean a 100% different thing than someone else who says it on a pitch, and then they could botch the call, and I'd probably get away with saying it if I was like nice with it. But what I'm trying to say is all you need is a good script, a shit ton of discipline, volume. Find someone who's in your niche, copy them to maybe like a minimal amount, and just find your fucking rhythm right off the bat. 3 months of hard work, even if you don't close anything, you're going to find what you're capable of doing and who you actually can model yourself off of. Because if you just go in thinking, oh shit, let me just copy Hunter, let me just copy Tarek, let me just copy Andres, it's just not going to work.
So yeah, so kind of model and then make tweaks based on who you are. Yeah, I think that's really powerful. Yeah.
If you go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so when you're making these changes, you model and then you make these changes, how do you know what changes to make? For example, somebody might all of a sudden like get very aggressive on a call or something and you don't know what you said that made that happen. How do you determine that to make changes?
Man, even when a call goes ace 100% and I close these people, I'm second guessing. You can ask my full sales team. It's like 6 people strong. They see all my calls live every time I pitch. I'm second guessing myself. I'm like, oh shit, I should have done this. Oh, what the hell, I botched this part right here. I think if we think about that every single time, even in the good and the bad, you're just going to lose your mind. So I like to analyze calls after, that emotion has kind of been displaced. So 24 hours, I realize, okay, that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Or, oh shit, I'm never saying that again. So it's got to be a flick of a switch. I used to say realistically all the time in my calls. I used to do a lot of things. I used to say a lot of words. I used to have different inflections. I used to say things that I was like, this isn't really actually the product that I'm pitching here. So I'm just going to cut that shit out immediately. Why am I doing this? Okay. And all I need to do is say it once for me to make that change. And that's, where the factor comes in. Like I said before, the way you become good at selling is by selling yourself before you even talking, which is going to the fucking gym, leveling people up around you, taking care of yourself. And, then after that, you can just say, okay, I'm changing this. Boom, it's changed. Just that quick.
100%. Yeah. And guys, I'm going to try to, I wasn't even planning on doing this. I'm going to try to make this extremely valuable. So I'm going to even leave a link to my script framework in the description. And you guys can use that and model it and make the changes exactly like Tariq's saying. I couldn't agree more. I think that's the best way to do it. There's no other way. I think when people try to copy, it doesn't work.
Man, I got away with emulating or copying someone at the beginning because I copied someone who didn't even know how to sell. So his script was someone else's script from basically Alex Hermosi. And I think of all the people to kind of not model a framework over, but like a good starting point, because everyone starts somewhere. I got my script from Alex Hermosi and Jordan Belfort. Okay. I watched a shit ton of Grant Cardone videos and that was me done and dusted. That was me like, okay, I got this. Oh shit. Okay. I figured shit out. Now I know, okay, I just got to keep doing this. Find tweaks. 3-4 months down the line, my close rate is above 50%. And that obviously came with working in the sales job too, and having an awesome coach who always was patient with me and believed that I could actually deliver what I promised in the interview when he actually hired me. So
Interesting. Yeah. And so I think that's one great piece of value. That's how you guys can literally get better at sales starting tomorrow. And I think that's super important. People already messed that up and that just screws them over in the long run. And on the other end, in terms of like the agency space, let's say your life was on the line. You had to get to 10K a month, because I know you've done it like 4 times across copywriting, agency, everything. If you had to get back to 10K a month and you started over again, how would you do it this time? Now that it's kind of changed a little bit.
If I had the same skill set I have right now, I'd book 10 meetings right after this call. There is no other formula. Anyone that says like, oh, you need to do this in your sales call, you need to do that in your sale, shut the fuck up. The only way you can actually get to that level is by sitting a shit ton more meetings. How do you sit more meetings? Dial the fucking phone, ring people up. Okay, that's it. It's a volume game, because if you're not doing it, someone else is. Sounds cliche, but that's the truth. Okay, I can make $250 if I say I'm waking up today, I'm doing $250. Okay, and that's how it works. Simple. Book 10 meetings, say the right script. If I had this same skill set right now, I'd probably close 4 or 5 people on free trials for a week and say, look, I need you to work with me, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I wouldn't say that shit, but I'd put them in a position where they work with me for a free trial, and then I can kind of famoose them into something paid. And I'd probably be able to get 10 people to work with me in a short space of time. But, do I want to get free trials and then try to convert into main paying? But that's the fastest way I got to every single time. 1 week free trial. And yeah, just convert them after a week. Simple. Awesome. Build that trust.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot, because a lot of people, I think they do like a 1 month free trial or like a 2 month, 3 month free trial. And I think it's ridiculous, because like, how are you going to convert them after that time period? It adds so much friction. If you do 1 week and you get good results right out the bat, which a lot of times people do get good results immediately, and then it starts getting worse and worse as time progresses, then you're able to convert a lot quicker, less friction. So yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more. And like, let me just add on to this. I have 140 plus people in my pipeline that I've pitched that have given me a yes, no, or a maybe that aren't my client right now. So, just to keep this as value packed as possible, if you have a pipeline as big as mine, just send out a fucking campaign to these 100 plus people. Look, 7-day free trial, willing to do it, yes or no. Great. You're going to get 10% of these people to sign. I could sign 10 people out, but just like that, just because I have a campaign prepared for that moving forward. So I'm preparing it literally in 3 days that, okay, free trial for 10 people, 14 people. Whoever says yes, they'll get it. And then after 7 days, a little bit more trust has been made. I might not sign them all. Some might just say, nah, this isn't for me. But I'm going to walk out of those 140 people that just took one click of a button for a campaign, and I'll sign 4 or 5 people just like that. And I just made an extra 10 grand a month onto my agency.
Yeah, that's super smart. And one last question. So I've seen one of your videos about cold calling, and you went into LinkedIn, you would message them, connect with them, and then you would call them. Is that still the approach you would take if you had to scale as fast as possible, or just dial the people in the niche, cold call, meeting, close?
It would 100% be not even worried about LinkedIn, okay? The reason why that person was on LinkedIn is because I knew that person had 15 clinics. So, but that was actually, it was almost like a referral too. So like, to give you an insight on that, that was someone who was a client of mine who mentioned, oh, this person actually owns an agency, owns like a chain, and they're buying out like 4 or 5 med spas every single year. So this guy had 15. So I was like, I need to touch, like, the whole point was being omnipresent with just this singular guy. Because I knew if I get in just on one conversation with him, I'm going to DM him. I Instagrammed him, WhatsApp, LinkedIn. He saw my LinkedIn, but I got him on everything. Email, WhatsApp, Instagram. LinkedIn was what actually got him. Text him on LinkedIn. I found his number because I have a Casper, Kaspr. I illegally use that, but it's actually legit to use. I was using that for my company. I don't know. Don't cut this out. Maybe don't. Fuck them guys. I'm an old man right now. But Casper, it's a number scraping software for LinkedIn, and I was able to use that on him. Get his number, perfectly legal by the way, because LinkedIn doesn't show shit that you're not allowed to see. Took his number, called him, hey motherfucker, I saw that you saw my LinkedIn message. What's up? Sign him.
Yeah.
But that's after like maybe 10 touch points on like 5 different. I think I got his Twitter as well. So, that was that. But I would just say you just need to dial.
Did you send him a postcard or no?
Bro, I sent a pigeon with a note on his I was like, this guy is my client, bro. This guy is my client.
That's awesome. Okay? Yeah. And so your approach to cold calling, what does that look like?
Man, it's just got to be volume. Some guy goes, how do I cold call? I was like, don't even write a script. Just pick up the phone and see what you actually say. You know, for someone starting out at least. See what happens. Okay, this is what you said. Let's model that off what you just said. Why would I write you a canvas and have you read something off a whiteboard rather than just pick up the phone and say, business. Okay, you said business. So now you can start the next call by saying, hey, I'd love to help you out with your business. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually a real life story. That's not me just saying that shit. I actually the guy who just said business. So with cold calling is just a volume game and saying what you feel. If you get a direct decision maker on the phone, all that matters is that they like you and they agree to sit a meeting. So whatever it takes to get a meeting, every answer they ask you, the answer is yes.
And I also assume you probably, obviously, like, no script. I think in some ways that's ridiculous. Yeah. But you probably have some kind of framework, like introduction, pitch, whatever, temp check or whatever. Do you have anything like that or no?
Well, like, it's all about being relatable, you know, and being analytical. I can't stand these motherfuckers that say, hey, am I speaking to the owner? That tells me you didn't even do 15 seconds of research. Can you prospect this fucking lead, please? Find their name and say, hey, Steven, Tarek here from this company. Do you have a quick minute to speak? Even that is better than saying, hey, can I speak to the owner? You know, you want to make yourself sound like you've spoken to this person before. I always go into cold calls thinking they're right in front of me. You know, it's make or break. You're right in front of me. How do I impress this person? So that's the way it's got to be. No nervousness, because you wouldn't be nervous if you were speaking to your brother right next to you or your sister right next to you or your parents. You just say exactly what you need to say. Now, it might not be nice all the time, but at least you're acting the way you want to act right there and then. Because I think if it's just family or relationships, you'll say exactly what you need to say. With new people, like, let's just say it's a random dude walking up to a girl who's attracted to, you're going to be a little bit more diluted. You're not going to say what you really want to say. Go into it as if you're talking to someone that you actually know personally, and don't give a fuck if you hurt their feelings or not. And that's 100%. The way to go.
Yeah, and I think that's super valuable, especially in sales. One big thing that Eli Weil teaches, it's like those guys who try to be too nice or try to accommodate for a prospects like hate that. But when you're just like, can I just tell you the hard truth right now? Can I just be real with you for a second? Especially on sales calls, and then you give them something and you're not just trying to sweet talk them, but you're just being legit. You're being yourself, you're being confident, and you're showing them you're an expert. A doctor wouldn't be like, hey, can I give you a prescription? No, they would just give it to you, right? Because that's what it is. So I think that's super valuable, and people need to do that a lot more. 100%.
Bro, there's no way in hell you're not going to fucking succeed if that's the way you're going in your cold calls, or even just approaching anything in general.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Well, awesome. I want to keep it short and sweet. I think that was extremely valuable. I wish I had that when I was first starting out. So that's awesome. And guys, Tariq, where can they find you?
Bro, Tariq Abali on all platforms. Instagram, if you want to text me, there is where I'm probably active the most. But look, let's make sure they go to you, not me. All right, I got my peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
But guys, seriously, now I've invested a lot into coaching, into sales, learning all this stuff. But first, when it started, it was learning from people like Tariq, right? And people telling you the real, not all this fake bullshit that there's too much of in the world now. And so if you really want to level up in your skills, in yourself, in your sales, and everything, you need people who are real. And Tariq, I think, is one of the people in the industry who still have that. We're 100% legit and will always be extremely humble, extremely great. And we were having a talk off camera, and it just showed that even more. Just the humbleness he has that allows him to help so many people. So definitely go follow him, go sub. It's going to help you a lot.
Let me just add on to that. Don't fucking reach out to me and say Rizzler, all right? Just say Tarek. That's not that bullshit. That happens more than you think, bro. And it pisses me the fuck off. Just say, Tarek, what's up, bro? Love your videos. I have a question. I'll answer every single day of the week. Don't fucking finish your way into talking to me by saying, Tarek, you're the Rizzler. Fuck out of here.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tariq, for coming on, and let's get it.